Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we explore the urban knife style and jungle survival. Today we're going to have a look at this Versa TAC pry bar from a company called REAPR, and we're going to see if it makes for a good addition to my urban apartment bug out bag, which I shared in the previous video. Again, check that out in the link above or the description below. First, if you watch this channel regularly but have not subscribed, please do so to support the channel. Thanks. When I posted the video on the urban apartment bug out bag, I got some comments suggesting that I should get some kind of a pry bar. Now, most of the pry bars that I knew of at the time were either really big, the big sort of crowbars, which would be, of course, very useful in a survival situation, but also very heavy and large. And of course, there are those tiny EDC 6-inch pry bars, which I think don't really have any practical use. But someone did recommend this particular pry bar, and I checked it out. It's available on Amazon for just under $25 US, excluding shipping. So I got it, and I have it over here. So let's have a look at the packaging first, and then I'll open it up. The company is called REAPR. This is a pry bar. It's got a 4-inch blade over here. It's got a non-slip handle, and it's also got a nylon sheath, which is included. And over here you can see some of the specs. I'm going to make sure you can see that. So we've got a 420 stainless steel blade, and I guess the overall structure. We've got the finishing and all these different features that we'll go through as well. And that's kind of the line drawing of the item, some product information, and basically other information. And this is made in China. So I'll tell you what, let's first go ahead and open this up, and then we'll check it out. So we've got it open, and let's have a look at the product. Feels pretty solid. Let's see how much this weighs. So in ounces, that's 8.82 ounces. I guess if we add the sheath, that's about 10 ounces. And in grams, that's basically about 284 grams. All right, so that gives you an idea of how heavy it is. We'll talk about the sheath in just a bit. Let's have a look at this product. So it feels solid. This is 10 inches long from head to tail, and the handle is 6 inches long, and the blade itself over here, and let's just remove this protective covering, that's 4 inches. The blade thickness of the stock is 4 mm, and let's just kind of measure the width. So that's just over 1 inch for the handle and the corresponding crowbar part. And if you talk about the blade width, that's about 1.5 inches. So that gives you an idea of how large this is. So it's very handy and very compact. I mean, of course, if we're going to compare it to a full-size crowbar, there's no comparison there. But in the case of my bug-out bag, I think it serves the purpose in terms of the size, the portability, but I think still will be able to be useful in certain situations. Now, for my bug-out bag, at least my intention is to keep it lightweight. I live in a condominium. It is an apartment bug-out bag, as I've stressed. So movement and mainly to get out of the building would be the main priority, and getting out and getting to a safe place. So that has to be seen in context. So something like this will make sense if you have to go down, many flights of stairs, because of the nature of a condominium. Then again, you do not want so much weighing you down. I do have a hatchet, which I shared. So this would be a great complement. In terms of the materials of the blade steel, 420. We have no idea what the heat treatment is. The steel is okay for what it is, but again, it all depends on the heat treatment. And if we use this as a survival tool where we need it in a kind of a one-time situation, I think it should be adequate, or we hope, right? There's no way of really knowing. So there is this tip over here, which is kind of a pry bar. We've got the blade, we've got the crowbar element here, which are the main things. But there's also this multi-wrench box feature for 10 mm, 13 mm, and 68 mm. So that's good to have, I think. In terms of sharpness, all right, for the pry bar part, I think no issue there. You will be able to get in things over here for the crowbar as well. But let's see the blade. I'm not sure what the sharpness is on the blade. It feels sharp in terms of the touch, but let's just do a paper test. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Right? It does cut, slice a bit rough, I think there's no need to sharpen it, but I think I will strop it and we'll see if that gets sharper. The other comment that I've seen online is with regards to this part over here. So this is to help you cut cordage and stuff. So that apparently is not that sharp as well. So I'm going to see if I can use this round file and see if I can just sharpen up those edges as well. So I'll give that a shot and we'll do another paper test and we'll see how we do. Alright, so I've stropped the blade. Let's see if it's any better in terms of slicing. Yeah, slightly better. Still a little rough compared to, let's say, other folding knives, but that's actually, I think, pretty decent compared to previously. So it can be sharpened up. Can't expect edge retention to be good, but once again, you know, this is kind of a one-off survival tool, so good enough for those situations. Now, let's test this. Now, I haven't sharpened this rope cutter, so I've got some paracord over here. Let's just try to get an idea of how it cuts. So that's for fear of also getting cut by that tip. So that's really not very good. So I was using pretty much a bit of strength. You can see hardly even cutting the paracord. So now it may look sharp, but obviously not sharp at all. So I'm going to see if I can touch it up and see if there's any difference. So I spent a bit of time using that diamond round file on this particular cutter to try to cut the rope, but even with that time spent, it's not really doing a good job. I mean, you can see it's fraying a bit more. Maybe I have to spend much more time sharpening it. But even in terms of the design, just having this with the blade here just feels too dangerous. Since we do have a blade, we might as well just use that blade and we can cut through that because now we've got that sharpened. So probably this feature, not so good. Maybe more for a nail puller of kind if you need to pry out a nail. But to cut rope or cordage, I don't think that's going to work very well. Let's have a look at the sheath. So what we have is a nylon sheath over here, a bit of a silica gel pack. So this is kind of a molly attachment. You can put it directly on your belt, but it will really work best with a molly system where this is interwoven. So that ensures this really stays on. So good to attach to the pack. And let's see how this goes on. So I would put this back around the corner. So that's just to protect the sheath itself. That goes in, I believe, like this. And let's see how that snaps shut. I've also seen some comments that this snap doesn't really work that well. It doesn't snap on, or it's very hard to snap on. And I'm kind of, yeah, I am experiencing that as well. Maybe you have to take a pair of pliers to the male side of the button. So it's on, but I don't get that snap. So I'm not sure how secure that is. It is on. Yeah, it is on. And it was snapped on. You just don't feel that click. Okay, now I do. Okay, so it's not so bad. You just have to get that on. It's a nice snug fit. You put it on this way, hanging from your belt or a pack. And if you need, I guess you could just flip this open and pull this out. Be careful not to cut that strap. And I'm sure if you take it in and out all the time, that will bound to happen. And you can see now that plastic holder is actually stuck inside. So I'm not sure whether you're supposed to use it. I guess for storage it does make sense, and if you pull it out it remains inside. I think that's fine, again, in that one-off survival situation. So that's kind of my look at this particular product. Now, what do I think about it? I think it is a worthy addition to my urban apartment bug out bag. Now, will it really help in a survival situation? I think there's a 50-50 chance. In terms of its size, it is very small, so how much you can get done with it, that can be questioned. But it's one of those tools where it's better to have this than not to have it. And to complement my hatchet and my other tools, I think I'm happy with this. And for the price, just under 25 US, I think it's okay. This is a letdown, but so be it. We still have a pretty decent blade. We've got a crowbar, we've got a pry bar. ergonomic, light enough, and we've also got this nylon pouch. So overall, I think actually it's a decent buy, and it's something you could include in your own bug out bag. But let me know what you think. Do you have such a pry bar or wrecking bar in your bug out bag? And specifically if it's an urban or apartment bug out bag, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.